Two.
Hey guys, this is Chef Shreya Shetty and today's recipe is super special to me because it belongs to my culture and my heritage. It is a chicken puli munchi, which is a spicy and tangy gravy which is super duper delicious, and it is actually quite simple to make. Let me quickly take you through the ingredients for it. We are going to start with a few chilies. So we've got the Bedki chilies, which is going to lend an amazing color and smokiness to the dish. The Gundu chilies, which are going to lend spiciness to the dish. We've got 8 cloves of garlic, we've got 2 onions, 2 green chilies, ginger, a handful, maybe say about 20 leaves of 20 curry leaves, and a lemon sized ball of tamarind. Okay, so because puli basically means tamarind and munchi is chili, so this is going to be a tamarind and chili heavy gravy, and it is like a semi dry, it's not too thin. And for the spices, we are going to have coriander. We've got 2 tablespoons of coriander, a pinch of jeera, a pinch of methi seeds, maybe about 12 to 15 pieces of black pepper, and a little bit of haldi. Now, and of course, moving to the next ingredient, we've got the chicken. So I am using 1 full chicken, which has come up to 1 kg. The chicken before it was cut was about 1.5 kilo. After cleaning, it became 1 kilo, and we've just marinated it in basic spices like we've got haldi, chili, and a little bit of lime juice. So what we are going to do is we are going to actually start just prepping for the ingredients right now. We are cutting the onions. So I'm going to use one of the onion into the masala and one is going to go into the gravy. So both are going to be cut in 2 different ways. So let me just show it to you quickly. So the one that is going to go into the masala is just going to be roughly chopped into cubes. You don't really have to be very perfect with the cutting. Let's get rid of that. And the smaller one is going to actually go into the gravy, so we are going to slice it. Now while I am prepping the ingredients and while I am slicing the onions, let me tell you a little story. So there is the ceremony known as the Bhuta Kola in Mangalore. Being agriculturists, we believe that there are spirits that take care of our land and we worship them. So every year we have a puja of sorts. To appease them and to show our gratefulness to them. That's when we actually cook chicken over an open fire, and the chicken is sacrificed. Of course, we will be eating it, it doesn't go to waste, and the entire chicken is actually used in the gravy using the feet. So today, don't be grossed out, I'm actually going to be using the chicken feet as well into the puli munchi, because we are actually going to be cooking over an open fire outside in my backyard. Now quickly I'm just going to crush the garlic. So easy technique to remove the skin of a garlic is to take your knife and to give it a little push down so that the skin peels right off. I know a lot of you all struggle with peeling off garlic and it's very annoying because it gets quite sticky, it's quite tough, but this way it is just super duper easy. I mean, of course you can buy peeled garlic, but I think with the market situation right now, peeled garlic is not really easily available in the market, so we shall go for this. Alright, we are done with the garlic. So I am actually going to take 4 cloves and just slice it, and the rest is just going to remain like that. Don't worry, I'll tell you what we are going to do with each of it as the dish progresses. Right now we are just going to prep it all and keep. So another thing that I forgot to mention is the fact that The spiciness in this gravy completely depends on you. So in case you can't handle too much spice, you can totally skip the gundu chilies and just use the bedkis. If you want more spice, you can reduce the bedkis and add more gundu chilies, because gundu chilies are extremely spicy. So according to the spice levels in your house, you can interchange the chilies. There's absolutely no problem. So the ginger, I am just slicing it roughly. Not going to julienne it too much. We are going to keep it very rustic, because after all we are going to be cooking outside, and I'm super duper excited because that's like a traditional form of cooking. And if you guys have eaten food that's been cooked over a wood fire, you all know that the flavor is just so much better. So I've just kind of slit the green chilies lengthwise, not chopped it. And of course, you're going to take out the heads of the chilies. I already did it before we started the recipe. And yes, we are ready. So we are ready to roast. We are ready to actually head out. So I think I'm going to take all of my ingredients and meet you outside. Bye bye. Alright, welcome to my backyard, and let's start roasting the spices for the masala. So this is a makeshift dikkel, as we call it in Tulu. It's wood-fired stuff that we've made. I'm using a cast iron pan to make my masala and just waiting for it to heat up. As you can see, the fire is roaring and it's ready to go. Put in about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Let's get that nice and hot. You don't want it to get too hot because you'll end up burning the spices. So it's going to add the chilies into it. All of the chilies. And we're going to... So do you see how this is fluffing up? So once the chilies start doing that, that means it's starting to roast. You see they're changing color also, so make sure you keep mixing it. That's when you add the rest of your spices into it, because you want to lightly roast them all together. Once those spices start spluttering, we are going to take half of our curry leaves and add that as well. If we would have added it first, it would be burnt by now. That's the reason we add it in the end. We want the fragrance of the curry leaves to come through. Ah. Oh, oh, oh. Delicious. There you go. Masala is ready. We are going to be actually mixing this in my mortar and pestle. I'm going to give it a shot. And we have to do it in parts because my mortar and pestle is not too big. You can do it in a wet grinder at home, or a regular mixer grinder is also fine. There we go. We're going to start. I'm going to put the masala in. I'm going to put it in parts. I'm going to keep this on the side, not close to the fire. And check this out, guys. We're going to put the raw onion as well and a little bit of the raw garlic. Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes. The masala is ready. I've already taken it out and kept it in this. I've added a little bit of water to the mortar and pestle to remove all of this delicious masala, because we don't want to leave anything behind. But I'm going to leave it in this for now. And we are going to start cooking. So, the fire looks like it's dying a little bit, right? So, let me just fix that. Let's add a little bit of firewood. Go. think we should be good. Alright, so before we start with the curry, sorry, I am going to do a little trick that I've learned that I'm very excited to show you. So like I told you in the beginning, we are going to be using the chicken feet, right? But we are not going to add it directly. Now this is a delicious way. So since I'm using one chicken, I've got only 2 feet, obviously. So what I've done is I've taken a little mesh, a wire mesh, and I'm just going to kind of burn it a little bit. I'm going to char it directly over the fire so that we can add that delicious flavor into our curry as well. Like I told you during the Bhuta Kola, when we cook our chicken, that time the feet are added, and they are always added like this. They are actually burnt over an open fire and then they are added into the curry, and it lends a delicious flavor to the entire curry. So that's what we are going to do here. I'm really sorry. May look like I'm crying, but it is Khushi ke Aasu, so don't worry. And yep, just going to wait for that to kind of char very nicely. So thankfully I've got quite a big stove top to work on. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to keep this on one corner, shift that somewhere towards the fire so that they slowly get charred at their own pace. And I'm going to start with the puli munchi. I'm making it in an urli. So an urli is actually a vessel from Kerala, and it's one of my favorite utensils to cook with, cook on, cook in. And we are going to be making our puli munchi in it today. So just going to keep it on the fire. So this works over an open wood fire because it's got quite a thick bottom. So the chances of my ingredients burning immediately is quite less. And it's also going to lend even more flavor. So we've got the wood fire, we've got all our ingredients, we've got this amazing setting, and we've got the urli. So I think it's just flavor on flavor on flavor on flavor. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start with ghee. If I was making a fish puli munchi, I would actually be using coconut oil. But because we are doing chicken, we've roasted the spices in coconut oil and we are cooking the puli munchi in ghee. Don't worry, I didn't make a mistake. That's how it is supposed to be. So just waiting for my oil to heat up. Okay, I'm just checking whether the ghee is hot enough. Okay, I think we are ready to start. So we are going to start with putting the curry leaves in. Go. Once the curry leaves splutter, we are going to put the sliced onions. Give it a nice mix around. Let me just check on the chicken feet. Let me show you. So you see they are slowly getting cooked. They are slowly getting the flavor. They are getting smoked sitting on the side. I'm just going to allow that to happen until I need to use it. We're going to wait until the onions soften. We want them to turn nice and pink and transparent before we add the rest of our ingredients. I think it's time for more firewood. Okay, for the guys who don't have access to a backyard or firewood cooking at home, don't worry, you can get Similar flavors. A tip that I want to give you all is that if you all have a mesh like this, you can actually burn or char a little bit of the bony pieces. If you are still not okay with using chicken feet in your food, you can take a few of the bony pieces, take chicken that has the skin on, and just like maybe 2-3 pieces, you don't need too much, and just completely burn it on the fire. Like put it on your gas and allow it to burn. Of course it won't get the wood fired smokiness, but it will get a smokiness, and it will impart a smokiness into your dish. Okay, we are going to add the chicken. Okay, while the chicken is cooking away, let me show you. That's what we are looking for. That char is what we want, and it is just perfect. Now this is going to give such an amazing flavor to my puli munchi. I'm going to just directly add this, and like I told you, at home, please give it a try. Just take chicken feet. It's where the most of the flavor is, the most flavorful part of the chicken according to me. And the chicken that I've used is with skin. It's, of course, you can use without skin. You can use country chicken as well. Desi murgi will give it an even better taste. But whatever is available to you now. No stress at all. Once this is done, once your chicken is seared for a few minutes, it's time to add the masala. So we are going to first add the thick masala. Okay, by the way, I want to show you, the color is amazing. Can you see how red that is? That's brilliant. And the aroma is another level, but of course I cannot send across the aroma of the masala to you, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is this extra masala from the mortar and pestle. This water is going to go into the curry. Guys, if you can smell this, I mean, I'm going crazy just sitting right next to it, and I just can't tell you how delicious this smells. Alright, so I have put most of my ingredients in. Because I'm cooking on a wood fire, I have put a little extra water into it, as in not more water, but from the masala itself. If you're making it at home, you don't really have to make it so gravyish, because you're going to allow it to thicken. We've got a very big fire going on. That's the main reason we add a little extra water, because later on we don't want it to come to a point where I have to add more water and then the entire balance of the flavors change. So now that it is boiling and it's kind of mixed in, all of the chicken is already leaving its fat and becoming more and more flavorful, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. Now we are going to add, I know you were wondering why I cut the green chilies if I didn't add it, but you actually add the green chilies now, and the ginger. So I'm going to hold back on a little bit of the ginger, because we'll be adding it in the end for a little bit of that fresh ginger bite to come through. And you remember the garlic that we sliced? Going to be adding that as well. Okay, so now that I've added this, now all we can do is wait. This is the sad part of the entire process. I'm going to put the lid on and just probably sing sad songs until it is ready for me to open back up and taste it. Okay, I have got to select a banana leaf for me to put the puli munchi on. I think this one is perfect. There you go. I miss being in the kitchen. I miss planning pop-ups for you guys. I miss, doing trials for menus, feeding people, meeting my friends. But you got to do what you got to do because the coronavirus has kind of taken the world in a way that we never thought would be possible. We've all come to a standstill and, kind of rethinking what we have been doing until now and working from home, being stuck indoors and not being able to do things that we used to normally. But I think the best way that we can fight this virus is by staying at home. But luckily, we are very lucky to live in the time of the internet, and I think we are still very much connected even though we are indoors. And that's what we are doing. We are sharing recipes. As a chef, this is what I know, this is what I love, and I love sharing recipes with you guys. I hope you like it. I like to show a little bit of my life to you, and I like to hear your stories when you talk about the nostalgia that my food induces. And I just want to say that stay strong. We are all going to come out of this much, much stronger. And we may have to change the way we live, but I think it's all going to be for the better, and we are just going to be happier once this is all done. Okay, the wait is over. Time to check my gussie. Oh my god, that looks amazing. I hope you all can see that the oil has separated, the gravy has thickened. Oh my god. And now comes my favorite part, the taste. Let's taste and check if the seasoning is perfect. We're just going to end it with a little bit of salt. So I have not added salt through the entire process because, as I told you, there was salt already in the chicken. So now we're just going to add it in the end as per taste, as much as required. Our gravy is ready. This, like I told you, this is not a thick gravy. This is not a very liquidy gravy that you can have with maybe rice or something. But this is a thick gravy. So this goes really well with pav, this goes well with idlis, with dosa. Oh, with dosa, it is the best. So that's done. Now, the final bit. The ginger that we saved in the beginning. I'm going to just sprinkle that on top. And extra ghee never hurt anybody, so we are going to end it with just a little bit more. And there you go. The puli munchi is done. So I cut this banana leaf a little bit earlier. I'm actually going to be serving my puli munchi on this. So what I'm doing is I'm holding it over the fire so that it softens a little bit. So it will be easier for me to put my gravy on it. Even if you're doing it at home, just hold it over your fire. Hold this stem over the fire so that it softens and you can actually put your gravy on top. There you go. Being as traditional as I can. So now, because of the heating, see this? That easily comes off. Okay, we've got a little bit left, but that's that. And this is my most favorite part because I get to taste it. Are you excited? I'm so excited. Oh my god. That's just perfect. It's perfectly spiced. It's got that proper kick of the tamarind. That is a good sign of the puli munchi because the puli has to be prominent. And oh my god. Oh my god. I can't talk. Thank you for watching. I got to eat this. Please try it. Please tag me. Sorry. Please tag me when you make it. I'm Chia Shets on Instagram. And goodbye.